The Studio Kit is a great way to interview someone and record both your voice and their voice, or you could use it to interview two people and not record your own voice. These microphones attach to boom arms, which clip to a table. Therefore, these mics are stationary and shouldn't ever be used as handheld microphones. They're very much studio microphones. The boom arms will allow for comfortable positioning for great sound recording. This kit will include the boom arms, which have the microphone cables embedded in them, two microphones, a headphone amplifier with two headphones, and a cable to connect the amplifier to your Tascam DR40 recorder, which is also in the kit. First, set up the boom arms. These clip to a table. Make sure you screw the clip tightly. You can pretty much clip it anywhere, but make sure you do not clip it right where the person is sitting. You want the boom to reach out and meet the person's face and be adjustable. Once secured, then take the microphones out of its case. Hold the microphone by the U-shaped bracket and connect it to the boom arm by screwing it to the pin on the boom arm. These microphones are fragile, so it's probably easier to swivel the pin itself rather than spin the microphone around, which could make it unstable. Hold onto the microphone the entire time you're attaching it so it does not fall. Once it's secured, then you can let go. Plug the mic cable into the microphone. Then connect the other end of the mic cable into the Tascam recorder. In a previous video, we showed you how to set up the recorder with one microphone. The steps for setting it up with two microphones is similar with one change. This time, we will be recording in stereo. This means that the left channel of the audio file will be entirely dedicated to microphone 1, and the right channel of the audio file will be entirely dedicated to microphone 2. Later, in post-production, we can separate these channels to make them mono, so they play out of both sides, but during recording, each microphone will be channeled to only one side. So don't fret if you can only hear your voice in one ear. Scroll to find stereo in 1/2 in the Tascam recording settings, and you should be good. Hit the record button to cue up the recording, and you should see your levels bouncing as you talk or make noise. Gently tap each microphone to see that both are working. When you tap the microphone, it'll create a level in that mic, but won't create any level in the other, so you can see that both mics are in fact working. If you don't get a level when you tap into one, the recorder may not be set up right or the cable not inserted correctly. If your levels are low, bump the input up on the side. If you're feeling advanced, there is a way to change the input level for each microphone, but you should consult the Tascam DR40 manual to see how. Otherwise, you can find one level that works for both guests. When we separate the channels in post-production, you can also increase the volume a little, but you always want to be getting a clear, loud signal at the source to prevent needing to boost input levels after the fact. In this room, there are a few things that make noise that you might not detect. There is an air unit. Behind the door is the furnace itself. In this closet is a doorbell transformer that's always humming. If you record your guest at a low volume and then try to increase the input level after the fact, it will also raise the room noises around you. Here, take a listen. This is me talking directly into the mic. You can see how I'm getting a good volume in the recorder, and you're also getting a very warm, strong presence on mic. My voice feels very full because I'm speaking directly into the microphone. If I were to speak off microphone, you can see how my voice hollows out. The levels are a lot lower, and my voice is a lot thinner. Now, if we try to adjust this in post by raising the input level, we're raising the noise of all of the room, including my voice. So you can see how it doesn't really help matters much because it's increasing a lot of white noise around us. That's why it's always good to make sure that you're wearing your headphones so that you can know when you're getting a very warm presence on the microphone. You'll also want to notice that as I was adjusting the boom mic, you heard a little bit of metallic noise in the springs when they moved. So you'll want to try to avoid touching the boom as much as possible when recording, or take a pause when recording if you need to make adjustments. A good loud signal is around -5 decibels. Anything between -10 and -5 will be workable. You want to avoid being consistently below -10 or consistently peaking, hitting 0. This red light on the recorder will flash when you're peaking. That means your voice is getting distorted and is blowing out. Once you know you are getting a loud enough signal, you want to make sure you are getting a clear recording of the voice. You want to record voices so they are full and on mic. You can always use effects and change the sound later, but it's nearly impossible to add fullness after the effect. Therefore, you want to make sure you and your guest are speaking directly into the microphone with the microphone 3 to 6 inches from your mouth. This might seem a little uncomfortable at first, but it will mean the mic is directly picking up everything straight out of your mouth and not getting a whole lot of other loud room noise. Check your levels at this distance and make adjustments to the input level as needed. Use the headphone amplifier kit to monitor your levels. It's very straightforward to set up. Just plug in the amplifier, connect the cable from the headphone output of the Tascam recorder to the input on the amplifier. Connect headphones to channels 1 and 2 to correspond with the microphones, and use the channels to adjust your headphone level and your guest's headphone level. Remember that adjusting your headphone level does not affect your input levels on the device. It's only what you hear in your ear. So a rookie mistake is to boost the headphone level thinking you're getting a loud recording, but your device is taking in a low input. Always use headphones when recording. It will remind you to speak directly into the mic and instantly alert you if your voice falls off the microphone. It will allow you to clearly hear your guest and their level too. Once ready, hit the record button on the Tascam to queue up recording. That red light will start blinking. Make sure you hit it again to actually start recording. You're recording when the red light is solid red and you see the timestamp counting up. See our video on editing stereo files to learn how to split your stereo file so that you don't have each voice only playing out of one ear. Essentially, you'll take your stereo file and turn it into 2 mono files, and it's pretty straightforward to do. It's a setting in Audition, and we'll create a separate video for you to learn how to do that.